Good morning, Boomers. So glad you found us in our new home for the fall.
Yeah, we've got a new season headed your way this morning. And I can't help but notice, Paul, that you've got something new going on, too. You had a procedure and didn't tell me.
I'm a new fall season of
Can I
hair.
touch it?
Yeah, go ahead, touch it. It's real.
Miss
That's
Petite, I hope that's okay.
That's my hair.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You look younger than me. I'm not happy about it.
I'll tell you about it in an upcoming
Will you?
episode. There's a story. There's a
Okay,
story about it. We've got stories this morning for you. 35 years of Colts Cheerleaders. Am I counting that right? Yeah.
Yes, all the generations since 1984. They had a big reunion.
Wow.
We're going to take you to meet many of these amazing women of the horseshoe.
And we're going to check in with the Wright Brothers and see what they're up to these days. Maybe
They still sing like canaries. It's gorgeous.
Oh, awesome. And we're going to update our documents. We're gonna Wills, yeah. Make sure that the beneficiaries are correct in that.
And if you haven't, you need to.
And if you haven't eaten breakfast yet, wait till you see what we're doing with eggs this morning.
Always on his mind,
Yeah.
food. Yeah, we've got a cooking segment you're going to love. So stay tuned. It's all on this morning's episode of Boomer TV.
Boomer TV is made possible with support from Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match customers' specific needs and style. Additional funding is provided by Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt attorneys, serving clients throughout central Indiana with wills, trusts, and estates, with over 70 years of combined experience. Unique Home Solutions, serving more than 30,000 homeowners since 1983. Providing home remodeling services from minor updates to complete renovations with a mission to improve appearance and efficiency.
I have to tell you something.
What?
That I am fascinated with cheerleaders.
Who knew?
I'm married to an ex-cheerleader.
You are?
So, well, high school cheerleader. Yeah.
Mrs. Petite is a former cheerleader?
Mrs. Petite is a former cheerleader.
You know what? I can see that. I can totally see that. I really can.
So you spent like a bunch of time with a whole bunch of former cheerleaders.
I sure did. From 1984 on, 35 years worth of Colts Cheerleaders. And you know what?
I bet they still look good.
They look great. They've still
Like
got
Mrs.
it.
Petite. Yeah.
So many different diverse backgrounds. Wait till you meet our Colts. Wait, we call them the ladies of the horseshoe.
Awesome! No, leave it to the professionals. Look, here's a future cheerleader. Let's get the cartwheel. Go for it, girl. Oh my goodness. She's got a future. What did being a Colts cheerleader bring to your world and your life in the years after?
People were at first kind of struck a little bit. Oh, you know, you cheer for the Colts. They always want to know, tell me about it. You know, tell me about the girls, tell me about the games. And I think we were able to surprise so many people with just the regulations and everything that it takes to put squads together. I mean, there was a lot to it, and I think being able to say we were cheerleaders, it was big. It was big.
The best part about being a Colts cheerleader, what do you think?
Well, we talk a lot about sisterhood. So I think being a part of that sisterhood is the best part of being a Colts cheerleader, because once you're a Colts cheerleader, always a Colts cheerleader.
Kind of like your own sorority. Did you look forward to practice?
Oh, yes. I loved practice, and me, at the time, I was in the military. So I was able to, what was so exciting for me, because I have a military family, and I did it on a dare to try out. And then when I made it, I had this wonderful, amazing group of women with amazing backgrounds and professions. It was like a soldier and a cheerleader. It's a girly girl, and this, my day.
The tough girl.
It was fabulous.
As a firefighter, it's all about your family. You know, we're a family even on my job as a firefighter.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you work together, you live together, you know, it's the same kind of concept. So I've taken it from the Colts to the firehouse. Just, yeah.
I think being in that public eye, it kind of helps you become a spokesperson or just be able to relate to the public. And so being that cheerleader, you entertain, but you provide a service to community. And I know the girls now on the squad, they do a lot of that community service, and it shows, and that's carried on in my life as well as I started my own nonprofit charity.
Oh my goodness. I'm so proud of all of you because as somebody going to the Colts game, a patron, we look down there like, gosh, you're gorgeous and they can move and they have all this talent and we don't think about what else you do after or before the games. That's cool. All right, we're here with a couple of cheerleaders from 2005, 2006 that went to the Pro Bowl. What was that like?
Just an amazing experience. Just to be with the cheerleaders, one from every squad, getting together and cheering at the Loha Stadium was amazing.
So, one of the highlights of your career?
For sure, yeah. The girls vote on us, so it's a huge honor.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it's incredible.
Okay, cool. 2006, you also had an extended honor at the Pro Bowl that year. What was it?
Oh, yes. Well, not only the Pro Bowl, but here for the Indianapolis Colts game, I had the opportunity to sing the national anthem, Monday Night Football, and that's actually propelled me into a career of music and singing. So that's what I'm doing currently.
My first year was 2009, and then my last year was 2012. Then I took a couple years off for nursing school, and then tried out again in 15. I worked at Riley when I worked here, or when I lived here in Indianapolis, and now I live in California, so I work out there.
Did you come here all the way for the reunion?
I did. I got in at 5 a.m. and I leave tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So I'm here for 36 hours, and it's totally worth it.
This is Anika, class of 98. 98 is very significant in Colts history. Tell us why.
Because it was Peyton Manning's rookie year.
And who helped judge the cheerleaders that year and select them?
Peyton Manning.
So you could say she was hand-selected by Peyton Manning because it's kind of true.
Yes, it is. Actually, he asked me a question.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember what it was, but he was instrumental in me making the team. So thank you, Peyton.
Yeah. What do you remember about being a Colts cheerleader that stands out?
For me, it's very personal. I was bullied in high school, severely bullied, and I actually wanted to try out for the high school cheerleading squad, and the director wouldn't even give me an application. So I tried out for the Colts on a whim, just to see what it's like to try out. And for me to make it and kind of have that full circle moment, it was special to me. So it means much more than just being on the field. The sisterhood, the friendships, the organization itself is just outstanding. I'm an anti-bully advocate, so when I speak to the youth, especially girls, and I tell them about my experiences, about my self-esteem issues, not feeling good enough, being rejected by the director of the high school cheerleading team, it's kind of inspirational for them.
Yes.
And it really uplifts me, and the Colts were really instrumental in that piece in my life. So
I think just representing the city of Indianapolis. I'm from Bloomington, and I love Indianapolis, and I've always loved sports, and so I think just being able to represent the city in such a positive way.
The backgrounds are so diverse. Firefighters, military, we've got moms, jewelry makers, professionals, nonprofit CEOs. It's amazing. The confidence they got being Colts cheerleaders helped propel them into those professions. Okay, it's time for a little Hoosier history. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Probably not the kind you're expecting. You know the Wright Brothers, the singing group?
Oh yeah, they've been around forever.
They have. Did you know that they had a cameo in the original Overboard movie with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell?
I don't, for some reason I don't remember that.
They did. They'll probably talk about it in just a minute. Jill Dittmeyer catches up with them on Boomer TV.
Lady, my love, lover, my lady, I love both the women you are.
We had a little time on a Monday afternoon, so I thought I'd just stop by to see the Wright Brothers. Hi guys, how are you?
We're fine. How are you?
I think we're lucky to catch them here at home, or your home, Tim, I guess.
It's been a while trying to put this together, hasn't it? Mary Pat can affirm that, because it's trying to get everybody's schedule together.
John's been to France recently, and I just got back from French Lick.
So yeah, and so it's kind of like that T-shirt thing. You went to France, you went to French Lick, the T-shirt kind of thing. But French Lick is your home.
French Lick is where we were born and raised, and I get back there every chance I get.
Well, and when you look at, if you go to the website and you see everything you've done, every person that you guys have performed with, everywhere you've been, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. So I picked out a couple of weird things I want to ask you about.
Right.
First of which, let's turn the tables back a little bit. Way back when Bill Hudnett was mayor of Indianapolis, he proclaimed it Wright Brothers Day.
In my generation, the best mayor I know of.
Yeah, he did a lot of things
Accomplished
for the
so
city of
much.
Indianapolis.
And our little bitty day he gave us, out of all those days he was mayor, I'm as proud of that as I can be.
I figured you would. That's why I asked you about it. Now, something else a lot of people maybe didn't know about, but they're going to know about now, is you wrote music for the movie Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. That's how they met and everything. Did you spend any time on the movie set with them or anything, or was that just?
We did. We most of the time we were there was setting up a scene. Early in the morning, down coats on, because it's up in Mendocino in California, northern. Cold in the mornings. By 10 o'clock, we're in T-shirts. They're still setting scenes up, waiting for the clouds to do this, that, to get a scene ready. Stand-ins are there for Goldie and Kurt. Finally, when they think they've got the scene set right, they come out. A couple times, you remember, they had to shoot it again, have to get the scene again. But anyway, yeah, they picked around. Kurt picked around on Tim's banjo, on the bandshell scene, and
Which proves you can't do everything.
You can't do everything, boy, that's for sure. Yeah, they hung around a little bit. It was fun to chat with them. It wasn't like
she had an infant.
Yeah,
she wasn't hanging around. She was only there when she did her scenes. The rest of the time she was.
We saw them rehearsing though. The scene when that love scene where they go outside of the bar after Jim Dandy and they're dancing, and he tells her the story of Arturo and somebody or other, some Greek mythology thing or something, and you hear him singing in the background. But you can see Tom's wearing this red coat, and you can see, if you look in the window, you can see him in there. You can still hear him singing the song. But what was I
we
saying?
had to perform because the camera faced the window of the club we were in, so you can see us on stage while they're performing their love scene. But people don't notice that. I did.
And it was
You
shot
did.
in the middle of the day.
Well,
but
now you will when you go back and look at the movie again, because the movie's on all the time.
Yeah, it is.
And
All the time.
now this a whole new generation is going to be able to hear the rest of the songs that didn't make the movie.
Well, are we?
How does
I
that
think
make
we're
you
out
feel?
Of the CD,
No, we
though,
have a
aren't
few.
Oh, we have a few left.
Got to print some more.
Yeah, we got 3,000 left.
Somebody was interested in promoting it overseas.
Oh yeah, it has been released in Europe now as you know, associated with the movie because it's popular over there too. So
We'll probably make as much money off that as we
There
do.
won't- I'll be surprised if
we get a
this
check
guy
every
sends
4
us
months,
anything.
you know, for 30 years now
From that movie.
for the movie.
Yeah, he did not have to put
I
us
net-
as a
I
band
netted-
as a residual, and we get residuals from that. And very few bands do that when you got 15 seconds of fame.
Mm-hmm.
But because
Literally.
Marv and Gary knew it,
Wow.
knew each other.
Well, as I said, you guys have done so many things, performed with so many different people. How do you decide now where you're going to play and what you're going to do?
How do we decide?
It's other
Yeah.
people's decision. actually.
We have
Give
no
us a call.
decision at all.
Okay.
If we get a
Give
phone
us a
call,
call.
Yes.
if we get a phone call and they want the Wright Brothers, the whole band, then we'll go do it. Sometimes we play a trio because they faint when we tell them how much 8 people cost.
No, we're
Yeah,
hoping
because
we
you
can.
do expand your
we're
band
hoping
as well.
we can warm up bands like Dude. That
Yeah.
my name's
Okay.
part of.
There we go.
Oh, we'd be good for you guys.
Well, that's what I say. What advice would you have to musicians today that are out there that are, because it's a whole different world.
You get a line, and I get a pole. We'll go fishing in a crawfish hole. I taught poker on Saturday night, church on Sunday morning.
I always just say if they love it and have the passion for it enough to be looking where I am now, playing Prime 47, different Wolfie's restaurants, where they may be right now, and you're 66 years old and you're happy doing that and you love to do it and you can't wait to get there and play, then stick with it. If you don't have that kind of love for it, you better go to school and find something else you want to do, because
But it's not as easy as it was for us.
No, it's not as easy now, I don't think. It's
There were
it's
so many
more
places
competitive.
to play. So many places just around here, but there were showrooms. Every hotel chain
And they wanted performers all the time, and it's a different situation.
Oklahoma had them. Arizona had them. California, you just work your way back. Minnesota.
Grand Forks, North Dakota had them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Don't
go to Grand Forks if you have a choice.
During the winter.
I enjoyed it.
Not during the winter, no.
Well, thank you guys for sharing a little bit of your wisdom and your history. And
did she say
they're
wisdom?
still out playing.
How sweet of you.
Take that.
How sweet of you.
Thanks, Jill. Thank you.
For Boomer TV, I'm Jill Dittmeyer.
It's question time, Julie Patterson.
For moi.
For you?
Yes, what?
Are you up to date? Or is the paperwork done? You know, I hate to bring it up, but you know, wills, are they up to date?
Oh, we do have a will. You know, honestly though, we probably did it 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. Is it still work though?
Things have changed. Well, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe you need to update
the kids are a lot older.
the beneficiary thing. That may need to change. I don't know. Kevin Kimbrough is going to sort that out
Good.
for us. Yeah.
Please do, Kevin.
Hurry.
Hi, I'm Kevin Kimbrough here in the offices of attorney Ann Poindexter, talking about life insurance, how we should be concerned about updating those things. Ann, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Ann, could you explain to our audience why people should update their life insurance plans?
Well, it's really the big topic of updating your estate plan. And it relates to different changes that people have in their lives. But I've had a number of people who are surprised that their will doesn't control all of their assets. So, for those of us with life insurance, we remember vaguely that we do a separate beneficiary designation with the life insurance.
True, yes.
So if my will says that you get all my life insurance, but my beneficiary designation says it all goes to my child, who do you think is going to get it?
Yes.
My child is going to get it, even though it said that in the will, because the beneficiary designation is what controls.
We should also be looking, as we've talked about earlier, updating the designation on your employees' life insurance plans.
Right, right. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but sometimes people get divorced and they often at the end of their divorce process work with their lawyer and update their will and do some other things, but forget to go to HR and make sure that the spouse isn't the ex-spouse now is no longer the beneficiary of life insurance, is no longer the beneficiary of retirement.
Ah, yes.
You know, those are two very common employer-provided benefits, which for a lot of people can be some of their most significant benefits when you're talking about a 401k, for example.
I was just going to mention that, yeah, so it kind of snowballs.
Yes.
So
yes.
What are some of the other things that we should be looking at?
Well, you definitely want to look at your power of attorney and your advanced health care directives. You know, if you have gotten divorced, or if you named a friend and that friend is no longer close to you after a period of time, do you really want them making decisions for you if you have a crisis or you're temporarily disabled? So that's even during your lifetime.
Yes.
I mean, and people get the creepy crawlies when I say, do you really want your ex-husband, in most cases, making decisions for you, or your ex-wife? But it also holds just for your friend or your cousin. I mean, life is full of changes, relationships change, and so you need to look at those documents and you need to update them periodically.
So a will wouldn't supersede any of those?
No, because, you know, the last thing we just talked about, a will handles assets if you die. And here's my big disclaimer, but, a will doesn't control assets that already have another designation on them. So the way I try and explain it to my clients is, you know, everybody needs a will, but the will is kind of a document of last resorts. If you die, we go around looking for instructions about what to do with the assets you leave behind. So if we go look at the life insurance policy, we have an instruction and we follow it. we only use the will for the rest of the assets that don't have an instruction to it.
From the audience perspective, what are some of the most important things that they should look at?
I think that every 3 years, ideally, and at a minimum every 5 years, people need to look at the documents they had prepared by their lawyer, which I hope at a minimum is a will, a power of attorney, and some form of advanced health care directive. But they shouldn't stop there. I mean, they probably have a file folder with the documents I just talked about and may pull them out, look at them, say, still good, I'm done. You're not done. You need to next think about every time you have named a beneficiary. Life insurance, retirement, any other asset that could have a value after your death, and you've named a beneficiary, you need to go back and see who that is. Sometimes people are really surprised.
Such a wealth of information, and we really thank you for being here and explaining that to our audience.
My pleasure.
I'm Kevin Kimbrough, Boomer TV.
Now, Paul, you're going to really like this next segment. You know why?
Food?
Yeah, you like to eat.
Yeah.
You're very lean for somebody who eats all the time.
Julie, Paul Petit's got to eat.
I know.
Okay.
So Heather's going to join us with a cooking segment, and her main ingredient is eggs. See what she does with them.
They are incredible and edible.
Yeah.
I have the perfect recipe that is going to pack a punch with some protein. It's portable. You can make it ahead of time and you can use it all week long. Super, super easy. Anybody can do this, okay? So these are egg bites. All you need is a muffin tin, dozen muffins. I line it with my parchment paper. You could also use Pam cooking spray. Here's the deal. It's 3 ingredients, okay? 9 eggs, salt, and pepper. As easy as it comes. So started cracking my eggs. Here's 7. I'm gonna do 8, 9 eggs. Okay, easy as that. If you have kind of a big measuring cup like this or a big bowl, just kind of whisk it around, just like that. Then I'm just gonna use some salt and pepper to taste. Anybody can do this, you guys. From there, this is where you can get really creative, okay? I love this recipe because it kind of hits every different person in your family, right? So if you have a vegetarian, you can add some veggies into this. If you have somebody who is on a gluten-free diet, this works. The keto diet right now, that works. If you have somebody like my husband who's a huge meat lover and loves spicy things, you can make something for everyone. So I'm just gonna take this base and I'm gonna fill each muffin just about halfway. You don't want it too full because we're gonna be adding ingredients into it. I'm using these parchment liners, but they also have silicone gel liners right now that are pretty darn cool too. Really easy to get out. You don't have to use a parchment liner either. If you want to just spray it with like a Pam cooking spray, you can do that. Okay? And on we go. I'm gonna leave these last 2 open. I'm gonna show you a little trick I like to do. So, for example, I have a niece. She just loves veggies. So I'm just putting some mushrooms in these for her. I sauteed these ahead of time, but you don't have to. This is great, you guys, to use for anything that is in your fridge. So if you have leftovers, you're about to go on vacation, a lot of us tend to throw our food away. This is a great way to save those leftovers, and what you're gonna do is freeze them. So it's okay, you don't have to eat them right away. Some diced ham is always nice. If you have some chicken left over from a rotisserie chicken, that's great too. Spinach is always fun. Broccoli, who doesn't like broccoli? Well, there are people who don't like broccoli, but it's healthy, it's a healthy option, right? Pesto is really fun. I like to do a little pesto with my broccoli and my spinach. And then, of course, some mozzarella cheese. Any cheese you have on hand. That's the beauty of this recipe, is it can work for really anything you have left over in your kitchen. You know, instead of tossing things, why not reuse them? Okay. So for these last two, I want to show you just kind of a little variation on the egg bites. And what I'm going to do for the base this time is I'm going to use a deli sliced ham or turkey, just something to kind of act as the base. Not too thin, not too thick. And then I'm going to break my egg right on the top. If you can use a little mixing bowl like this, it makes it a little easier. Just like that. How cute is that? And that's going to be a nice protein-filled egg bite. I'm going to actually put some cherry tomatoes on this. And then you're just going to pop these in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes, and then they come out looking like this. And how cute are these, you guys? So you can see I have all different variations. And then what I do is just take a freezer bag. What I like to do is 2 egg bites per serving. So these have some of the meat in it. I'll just do 2 for Steve, right? I've got his name on there. I've got the date. When he is ready to eat it, all he has to do is look for his bag. He takes it out of the freezer, puts it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and voila, you have a fresh, protein-packed meal to start your day. For Boomer TV, I'm Heather McWilliams. Bon appetit.
Fun show.
It was good. It was worth getting up for.
I know. I love the cooking segments. Well, don't you?
No, gotta eat.
Cheerleaders, all of it?
Gotta eat.
Okay, we're going to be back next week, same time, in the morning, Sunday morning here on WFYI, and we hope that you tell some friends about it and that you join us again.
You've got to give them the new coordinates, too. For
right.
For the secret little meeting that we're doing here on Sunday mornings, okay?
Because we'll be there.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Otherwise, the shot's going to look uneven. See you then.
Have a good morning.
Bye. For more all things Boomer, just visit our website. That's indieboomer.com. Indie Boomer connects TV, magazine, and radio. It contains useful information for baby boomers all over the Indianapolis metropolitan area. And you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Pick up Indie Boomer magazine at most Kroger stores and libraries. Look for us all over Indy.
Listen to Boomer Radio every Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. on Freedom 95 with a rebroadcast Sundays at 7:30. Indie Boomer, for the next chapter of your life.
Boomer TV is made possible with support from Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match customers' specific needs and style. Additional funding is provided by Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt attorneys, serving clients throughout central Indiana with wills, trusts, and estates with over 70 years of combined experience. Unique Home Solutions, serving more than 30,000 homeowners since 1983. Providing home remodeling services from minor updates to complete renovations with a mission to improve appearance and efficiency.